Chemical dependency program. Introduction. The usage of cocaine among the American young adults is a bone of contention within the country, as a considerable proportion of families continue to file reports with their respective state agencies concerned with such mode of attributes. In essence, according to the available statistics, as an alignment with the National Survey on Drug Use and Health, approximately 1 million American youths become entangled with significant dependence on cocaine. Such inclinations depict that this relatively younger demographic composition has a greater probability of showing signs of getting addicted to the same. Introduction contained. As a result of their dependency on the chemical contents of the drug, the reports reveal that they stand the prospect of showing disturbing influences which cocaine dependency manifests to a person in the form of loss of appetite, nausea, intense euphoria, hallucinations, hyperstimulation, depression, psychosis, and panic, as well as paranoia and anxiety in the short run. However, in the long run, this proportion of the populace fraternity stands to experience damages to kidney, lungs, and liver, persistent high blood pressure, damage to the blood vessels of the brain, failure of the respiratory framework if smoked, malnutrition, among others. Chemical dependency program. As young American citizens in their hundreds of thousands become exposed to chemical substance dependence, it is relatively optimal to fathom the reality that this criterion is not a mere flaw in the character of such individuals, or is it some sort of weaknesses. However, it is essential to fathom the rise as a disease which harbor recognizable symptoms that have the propensity to be progressively harmful through time. For that reason, the appropriate program to pursue is the inpatient chemical dependency program. Chemical dependency program continued. It is ample to argue that for the patients who suffer from severe abuse of cocaine as a harmful substance, the inpatient affiliated program is the appropriate methodology to consider integrating into the endeavor of seeking recovery. The program is renowned to commence through the process of detoxification via the use of hospital-approved medication-oriented procedures. Undertakings such as these only exist to avoid and ensuring that safe cocaine withdrawal tendencies undergo exploitation in a more comfortable mannerism as possible. The next ideal in line is a more robust pattern whereby medication which is of high structural nature becomes administered by clinicians and other professional medical practitioners. During this stage, the leading agenda of such a scale team is to ascertain that there is the realization of rapid stabilization. Similarly, they aspire to achieve the objective of developing appropriate strategies whose goals are to inherent avoidance of relapse as well as rehospitalization stances. Benefits affiliated with inpatient chemical dependency program. Presence of 24-hour monitoring along with supervision by existing trained therapists as well as other staff fraternities experienced in psychiatric and medical prospects. Being an inpatient makes a person to be part of an inherent community where there are other youths who are similarly recovering from their chemical oriented dependencies. The setting provides a somehow sober and stable environment where one could not become distracted by the daily worries which actualize themselves during stages when he or she is undergoing the procedures of the program. Benefits affiliated with inpatient chemical dependency program continue. The program presents a considerably low probability of relapse due to the availability of constant monitoring alongside supervision environment which clearly provides an enlisted patient with no chance of accessing cocaine. The mechanism provides a relatively greater likelihood of success, more so during stages when the mode of treatment pursued is somehow more intense and consequently becomes available for a longer period. The program provides available cocaine-dependent patients with the opportunity to make a choice on the type of facility they want to receive the service from. The stimulus response approach. It is a sales-oriented methodology which mandates a sales representative professional to engage in saying the appropriate aspects within the context of the correct thing by the means of guiding the available response through a question-answer sequence during stages of research. The approach demands that the respondents ought to undergo exposure to an adequate stimulus when striving to achieve the desired response. Hence, in this case, it is accurate to argue that the marketing entity should present to the available potential customers the stimulating questions concerning the inpatient chemical dependency program, which would, in the long run, ensure that they opt to enroll on the same. The selling formula. It is describable as an inherent selling attribute whereby the intrinsic sales presentation acts as a guide to the existing customer fraternity through the supposed decision-making protocol. These may include acquiring the attention of the customer, enabling him or her to develop and nurture interest, build on the desire, and eventually opt for an action. Indeed, this criterion will emphatically contribute to the marketing team fathoming appropriate mechanisms which could enable them to achieve a preferred response from a potential client base whose desire to opt for inpatient chemical dependency oriented programs. The need satisfaction method. The FACEIT is a sales-centered technique which calls for an operating sales representative to develop an acute understanding for tacit alongside the express needs to the exploitation of means such as active listening and probing questions. This approach will prompt the marketing team of the organization to develop mind-throbbing questions to existing customers suffering from cocaine dependency. The resultant outcome could propel them to develop and present beneficial attributes affiliated with the inpatient dependency program. These will ideally provide an added satisfaction to the needs of the clientele guild. For instance, the provision of a stable and trigger-free setting which could be suitable for quick recovery.